everyone, I'm Nina Zeta, Director of Partnerships at Sidewalker Daily. Our agency is in a really special place because we work on both sides of the influencer equation. A lot of our clients are travel brands, so either we work with tourism boards or hotels or just different travel brands in general. And we also help influencers and creatives build sustainable businesses online. Because we work with the brands, we're able to kind of shed info as to what the influencers and the creatives should be doing to, better their business skills. So for today's video, I want to talk about Instagram trends. Now, a lot of the videos that you'll see up on Instagram trends are really techy. And while I am going to cover some of the technical things that I think are going to be popping up, I also just want to talk about the landscape in general, because some things aren't really tech or tangible. It's just more like of a mindset thing. So let's go ahead and start. So we started our Instagram channel in 2015. So I'd like to say we've been around for a while, like one of the OG travel reshare accounts. And we've kind of seen all the trends kind of pop in and out. For the first trend that we think that is going to be like launching or you're going to see more of is more authenticity in the Instagram space. So Instagram used to be like this really staged place for a lot of influencers with the perfect shot and the perfect lighting and the perfect this. And it was less, it was just more polished and dreamlike and aspirational. But I'm sure you've been seeing more and more of this Instagram versus reality. Influencers are like kind of poking fun of themselves. They're posting that beautiful shot, but then next to it, they'll show like the behind the scenes. And I think people really appreciate seeing that it's not this picture perfect space that this photo took forever to make. And I think creating this idea of, more authenticity and less stage is only going to be a good thing. And with that, there's more vulnerability. Like I see people that are actually like crying now on Instagram. No, I'm not joking. Like this girl posted a photo of her on full on tears. And we wouldn't have seen that 5 years ago. We just wouldn't have, everything had to be like perfect and staged. And now people are really putting themselves out there and they're sharing with their audiences, those deeper moments and being more vulnerable. And with the vulnerability, I think like that attachment happens with the audience and the creator because you feel like you've been let in. You're also seeing tons of different influencers and celebrities like kind of pushing more for less Photoshop, more inclusivity in all types. And I think this new idea and this not that it's new, but this concept of being more real is wonderful because it's setting up, creators to not only be able to create these beautiful artistic pieces, but also, be themselves and like let people in to what makes them tick. The second trend I've seen a lot pop up is this concept of like longer captions. So when we first started, we would always do like these little like itty bitty captions, like, I don't know, the weekend's here, Friday feels, or like just 2 or 3 words with like an emoji. That's not happening as much anymore. Now people are almost using their Instagram caption as what I kind of like, I think a little bit of like a micro blog. If you're not familiar with the term of microblogging, it's just shorter excerpts. So rather than having like a blog, a short caption, people are putting like long captions, and there's storytelling in their captions. They're not just long for the sake of being long. They're walking you through a story. They're walking you through the thought process behind the shot, how they felt, where they are in their lives. This really ties into that first trend of authenticity, vulnerability, and you're seeing that being executed through longer captions. The third trend that I see kind of coming more to the market, and it's probably one of my favorite changes that I see happening, is this increase in inclusivity and diversity. There are people working relentlessly behind the scenes. Our good friend Martinique Lewis from Marty San Diego, she is working to ensure that travel brands are keeping their content creator portfolio diverse. And again, 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I just didn't feel like, I didn't see as many like body inclusive influencers. And now I see tons of them. And it's a wonderful thing because I feel like, again, people are not as afraid to put themselves out there. And I think this is only going to make, our industry just a more beautiful one. Up next as a trend, I think we're gonna see less posts, more stories on Instagram. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but like I'm just seeing so much more stories. Now, when you think of a post versus a story, they kind of fill a different need, right? An Instagram post is more like to capture a moment and freeze it in time, whereas stories are like real time. They're short. They are videoing you doing the things that you do throughout your day. And people are enjoying this like behind the scenes look versus like a captured moment in time. I think this kind of touches on that first trend of, more authenticity. People are excited by authentic content, and what's more authentic than like Instagram stories, right? For the most part, you feel like it's like a real-time role of your favorite creator. Another trend in the marketplace I'm seeing is using Instagram more as a personal branding tool. So back in the day, I feel like everyone had a screen name, and it's kind of like in the AOL days. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but people had like screen names and you would go by your screen name. Well, that's kind of what happened in the influencer market too on Instagram. People had like their usernames, and internally, like we would be like, oh, did you hear so-and-so? Rather than calling her by her name, we're calling her by her handle. And I'm sure you guys have done that too. I see what's happening now is people are ditching these like usernames and just sticking more with their own name, so making sure their handle is their first and last name. This is obviously a really good business decision if you are an influencer or a creator that is trying to use Instagram as a way to personally brand yourself. You want to stay away from a username that could be outdated, whereas your name is your name, and it's always going to be that way. Another huge trend is this concept of drops. Now, stay with me. Basically, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Amazon has already started. It's this concept of dropping like a collection, and it's only available for 30 hours, and that's it. So this idea of drops, like we've been in board meetings with like really high up brands, and they're excited about these drops, and it's going to happen in travel as well. I think it's that concept of scarcity, just people not feeling like something is available all the time, but you can only get it like at a limited time. I think we're going to see a lot more on the concepts of drops in the coming year. Another super important trend is this concept of augmented reality. So before, with Spark AR, which is the tool to do like, custom filters, you had to be accepted to the program. Well, not anymore. On Instagram, anyone now can make their own filter for stories. So you're seeing influencers create their own filters and releasing them, charitable organizations, brands, anyone. And I think if you are creative and you're watching this, you really need to keep an eye on this trend. And the reason is if you learn how to build out these sort of custom filters on Spark AR's platform, this is a valued added skill set that you can upcharge. Now, hear me out. When you're working with brands, let's just say you're staying at a hotel. Why not create a custom filter for them and use that as part of like your product portfolio, like what assets you can create for people and charge for that? I mean, that's a skill. Some people, for like filters, it's technical. While the platform, is rather simple and easy, there's still a learning curve. You need to get on it, download it, play around with it. So be one of the first. Learn how to really make these awesome filters, custom filters, so that you can use them when you're pitching to brands. The last trend I am going to talk about today, and you guys know there's like hundreds of trends out there, but the last one I'm going to focus on is the rise of nano influencers. Now, we shot a video on that. I'm going to link it below that talks all about nano influencers. But now you're going to start seeing in Instagram, like people that have under 5,000 followers are going to be posting more and more product and posting more and more, brand reviews. So don't be surprised if you start seeing like your random friend Jenny from high school who has like 1,000 followers post, her favorite water bottle and kind of be like, because that's going to be happening way more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Instagram trends and were able to kind of, brainstorm and see what's happening in the future. It's a really exciting space that we're all in because things are moving at lightning speed, and it's really cool that we get to be a part of it. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video.